For every beloved franchise, for every beloved character, there is always going to be that one character that nobody likes. Like Big the Cat, the muscle of Team Rose, and Bubsy Bobcat, the bane of all gamers. Now, since there is few of anything related to Bubsy, we're only going to stick with Sonic Adventures, Heroes, and Dark Brotherhood for Big. I'm one fish mob, and it's my job to see who would win in a fight. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Silver, Shadow. Throughout all of the Sonic universe, there are characters that are beloved, remembered, and revered as some of the best to come out of Sega. Except for Big the Cat. Generally living alone in the wilderness, Big would much rather focus on fishing and spending time with his friend Froggy. However, if action calls him, he'll step up and take the challenge, whether it be to stop a great evil or find his little green pal. And when he does step up, he brings a lot to the table. He's strong enough to crush massive robots by body slamming them, and can casually lift and toss cars and large boulders. He can even shatter pure rock and metal. He can smell targets from long distances and is proficient in piloting all kinds of vehicles he's never used before. Despite being, well, big, he can climb ladders faster than any Sonic character, getting into places others can't climb. As well, Big is also somehow able to reach places before others and is agile enough to perform a homing attack. Big is also incredibly durable, with most attacks bouncing off of him, and if he's in a giddy mood, attacks do nothing to him. He can breathe in space and survived both crashing the Tornado 2 unscratched and the destruction of Prison Island. And despite being simple-minded, he's always kept his cool even in dangerous situations and tends to listen to people he trusts without question. But he isn't just durable. He can slam into his opponents with Belly Rush, jump into the air and crash down with Spin Jump, create shockwaves with Body Press, and perform a triple punch combo known as Batter-Ram. And if he needs a little help, he can use Froggy to attack opponents. Froggy can drop down upon enemies from above for an unavoidable attack and can poison Big's foes. But he doesn't just solely rely on amphibian power alone. His most iconic and versatile weapon is his fishing rod. Big can use this odd piece of fishing equipment as a club, and the lure is strong enough to destroy a robot in one hit, and be used to trip and stun foes. Or he can transform the lure into a spiked metal ball and swing said ball like a mace with fantastic reach. His fishing rod also acts as an umbrella, which he uses to slow its descent. Big is surely anything but something small. Big has found and recaptured Froggy several times, is an expert fisherman, or fisher cat in this case, helped defeat Chaos 6, survived on his own in the wild all his life, helped defeat the Nocturnus, ultimately saving his dimension with Sonic and his friends, and defeated the Egg Emperor with some help. However, he does have some big downcomings. Big is really dumb, has lost Froggy dozens of times, even after recapturing him, is absurdly obsessed with Froggy, and is one of the slowest Sonic characters, but yet is somehow able to keep up with both Amy and Cream. Other than that, you better hope you don't get into big trouble with this feline. The 90s, the era where home video game consoles just became a thing, and were becoming huge, and as such, companies needed mascots to promote their brand. Through this, we got Mario, Sonic, Pac-Man, and so many more. And then you have the others, the ones that just failed to stick, and the most notable of all of these would be Accolade's Bobcat, Bubsy. Responsible for a franchise nobody cares for, and for spawning what is considered one of the worst games of all time, Bubsy has since only been used for the butt of jokes and the sole reason why Accolade went bankrupt. Until 2017. However, despite this reputation, Bubsy is no pushover in a fight. He's strong enough to take on and defeat armored and robotic enemies, and despite having usually poor durability, he has demonstrated some mild toon force. He survived falling from great heights, survived getting crushed/stomped by his niece after she became a giant, survived the virtual reality helmet exploding on his head, and survived his rocket blowing up with enough force to send him back through time. He's extremely fast on foot. His estimated max speed is approximately 25.5 miles per hour and is very quick, agile, and acrobatic. And despite being a bobcat, Bubsy can somehow glide, usually using it to avoid death from falling, and can dive bomb enemies with this move. He can also jump incredibly high so he can take out enemies Mario style. And if successful, he can form a dust cloud around him to bounce off other enemies. Bubsy can also store enough atoms in his fur to power up a rocket, make it overload, and blow him back through time. However, there is one other thing.
Oh, this is my favorite part!
He's aware of the fourth wall.
Aren't these game designers wonderful?
He knows he's a video game character and is aware of the player, and often praises his game's designers for their work and manipulate the TV screen with a remote.
Come on, come on! Don't be shy! Step right up and win valuable prizes!
This can also include talking to the audience. But at least it doesn't affect his intellect. He once erected a fully functional rocket from all the parts he found in seconds, and he is very manipulative, able to trick enemies, exploit an enemy if they're stupid, and take advantages of any weaknesses he notices.
Hey, once I grab this power-up...
Yes, Bubsy. Thanks for reminding me of this. Bubsy can use different kinds of weapons and power-ups he finds along the way. The Shadow t-shirt temporarily makes Bubsy invisible and allows him to sneak by seemingly undetected. The Invincibility t-shirt makes Bubsy temporarily invincible, allowing Bubsy to kill regular enemies by simply walking into them. The Nerf Bazooka carries up to 99 yellow balls that it shoots like bullets and is used to take out smaller, weaker enemies with just one hit and turns them into trading cards. However, bosses and stronger enemies can take more hits in order to take down. The Smart Bomb.
Strength and beauty! The perfect combo!
The Smart Bomb obliterates all enemies on the screen in a white flash, turning all enemies into marbles. Bubsy can carry several and use them one after another if needed, but like the Nerf Bazooka, they don't work on stronger enemies and bosses. Or at least they aren't very effective on them. He can use a portable hole to jump into to travel to different time periods, and allows him to escape back into the present. The atoms are throwable projectiles that are rather difficult to aim, and kinda slow moving, but can be used to collect other items in a row when shot, or to blow up enemies and walls. Then there's his lightning shield, which creates a lightning bolt that hovers around Bubsy that kills anything that touches the bolt itself, but it only lasts a few seconds. He can also carry an exploding corn dog, which he can use to trick people into eating it, or at least try, which then explodes with enough power to make the enemies erupt into smoke and flame and send them flying. Despite being annoying, Bubsy is no pushover in a fight. Bubsy's defeated countless Woolies and defended the planet's yarn balls from the Woolies multiple times. He once traveled through time to retrieve precious inventions and famous events from being stolen by Oinker P. Ham and defeated both him and his minions. Ventured through various fairy tales to rescue Mother Goose herself. Once collected parts of a rocket to assemble a fully functional ship to escape from the Woolies. And saved both his niece and nephew as well as the virtual reality helmet from Ali Cassandra and her two bumbling servants Sid and Buzz.
Well, Great going, wingman!
However, Bubsy is anything but perfect. He has a massive ego and likes to show off and brag any chance he gets. He thinks of himself as a risk-taker who's brave and adventurous, but is actually just completely nuts. He can be rather short-sighted and selfish, and often doesn't think things through and is very childish and even mischievous. And when he's running, he can't stop short, usually leading him to accidentally slide into objects. He also can't swim, and most power-ups and weapons are either only temporary or have limited ammo. But his greatest weakness, his absolute kryptonite, is his poor durability. He can be killed rather easily and usually dies with one hit from almost anything. Although as time went on, he became able to take at least 3 hits instead of just 1. Though environmental hazards still kill him instantly.
Alrighty then!
Phew, glad he's gone. Now we can end this segment. Alright, the combatants are set. This battle will have no prep time, Big will be able to use Froggy, and neither will have the home field advantage. Let the battle begin.
What could possibly go wrong?
Fight! Froggy!
Victory Screech!
Oh man, who booked this gig?
Yes, Bubsy, we know you're disappointed, but in all honesty, there were several reasons why you lost. Bubsy may have been faster, some of his power-ups would be useful against Big, and could exploit Big's stupidity. However, Big was easily physically stronger, and most of Bubsy's power-ups wouldn't work against him. You could also smell where Bubsy was when using his black t-shirt, and the Bazooka and Smart Bomb is unlikely to hurt Big. And yes, while Big's stupidity could be exploited, the trusting nature he shows to his friends wouldn't extend to Bubsy due to the nature of the battle, making Bubsy's manipulation not fully realized. Not to mention, Big's weapons are more useful, being able to be pulled out and utilized at any time Big wants, and Froggy could provide support. But Bubsy's biggest flaws that ultimately sentenced him to death was his massive ego and fragility. Bubsy, being childish, mischievous, short-sighted, and egotistical, would constantly lead him to underestimate Big, and would physically be unable to take all of the damage Big could throw at him. Sorry Bubsy, but this fight was a real CAT-astrophe. The winner is big.